Today, we're digging into one of the wildest, most forgotten stories in all of sports history. It's the almost unbelievable tale of the 1952 Dallas Texans, the last NFL team to just poof, vanish. Everybody knows the Dallas Cowboys, right? America's team. But what if I told you that 8 years before they even existed, another Dallas NFL team tried to win over Texas and instead became a total ghost? So what on earth happened? Well, meet the Dallas Texans. This team right here is at the heart of our story. They were around for just one season, they somehow managed only a single bizarre victory, and their spectacular flameout would accidentally end up shaping the future of the entire league. But before all that, before the collapse, there was this huge dream. The dream of bringing the first ever Major League sports team to the great state of Texas. So, our story kicks off with two young, ambitious millionaire brothers, Giles and Connell Miller. They looked around, saw the insane passion Texas had for college and high school football, and figured, hey, the state is ready for the pros. Giles Miller famously declared, "There is room in Texas for all kinds of football." I mean, talk about dramatic irony, right? It was a statement just brimming with optimism. They believed in the market. The market, as we're about to see, did not believe back. Now, here's an interesting little wrinkle. The Texans weren't some shiny new expansion team. They were actually the relocated and rebranded New York Yanks, a team that was already in deep financial trouble and had bounced between a few different names. The Miller brothers basically bought a struggling team, hoping a change of scenery would change its fortunes. So they set up shop in the legendary 75,000-seat Cotton Bowl for $200,000. The NFL owners approved the whole thing 10-1. And that lone no vote, you're not going to believe this. It came from Pittsburgh Steelers owner Art Rooney, a little detail that kind of foreshadowed the huge rivalry his team would one day have with the future Dallas Cowboys. The dream was in place, but it went sour, fast. From the very first kickoff, the whole enterprise just began to unravel into a complete nightmare, both on the fields and, in the bank account. Think about this. It's the historic first ever Major League game in Texas, in a stadium that holds 75,000 people, and fewer than 18,000 fans even bothered to show up. Ouch. That was a huge red flag right from the start. And it just got worse from there. The team kept losing, and with every loss, the crowds got smaller and smaller. By their fourth and final home game, they couldn't even get 10,000 people in the stands. They needed 25,000 fans a game just to break even. So, by the middle of the season, the Miller brothers had lost $250,000, which back in 1952 was an absolutely staggering amount of money. With no big TV revenue deal to save them and no support from local businesses, the team was completely broke. And that was it. Just 9 games into the season, the dream was dead. The Millers gave up, selling their 0-9 team back to the league for pretty much nothing. The Dallas Texans officially stopped existing in Dallas. The NFL, now stuck with this orphan team, turned them into this weird, homeless traveling team just to finish out the season. But this is where the story gets really, really strange. Because now, as a homeless team, owned by the league, with 0 fans, the Texans were about to have their one and only moment of glory. The team's whole operation was moved to Hershey, Pennsylvania, of all places, and their last few home games were played in places like Akron, Ohio. They were literally a ghost team, playing out the season in front of tiny crowds who had no connection to them at all. Okay, this all leads to probably the most unbelievable part of the whole story. On Thanksgiving Day in Akron, the Texans played the mighty Chicago Bears. The attendance? Just 2,208 people. But get this, a local high school championship game was played in that exact same stadium earlier that morning, and it drew over 14,000 fans. That just shows you how far down the sports totem pole the NFL was back then. So the Bears coach was so confident he actually started his second stringers. But the Texans, man, they had nothing to lose, and they jumped out to this huge lead. The Bears finally put their starters in and came roaring back. But with just 34 seconds left on the clock, the Texans scored. They pulled off this absolutely shocking 27-23 upset. It was their first win, and, spoiler alert, their only win. The team would finish the season 1-11, and then just disappear. But the ghost of the Dallas Texans, oh, it would go on to haunt the NFL and, believe it or not, completely shape its future. So officially, the 1952 Dallas Texans are the last NFL franchise to actually go defunct, just gone. Their players and assets were sold to a new group that started the Baltimore Colts, but the Colts don't claim any of the Texans' history. They were a true dead end in the NFL family tree. And this is their real legacy. The Texans' failure made the NFL absolutely terrified of expanding again. This really frustrated a Texas oil man named Lamar Hunt. So, what does he do? He starts his own rival league, the AFL, and puts his own team in Dallas, which he also called the Texans. To fight back, the NFL had to scramble and rush to create the Dallas Cowboys in 1960. And eventually, Hunt's Texans, they moved and became, you guessed it, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's just incredible when you think about it. The spectacular, embarrassing failure of this one forgotten team is the direct reason we have two of the NFL's most iconic franchises, the Dallas Cowboys and the Kansas City Chiefs. The whole modern NFL would look completely different without this one ghost team. The story of the Texans is this wild reminder that even the NFL wasn't always the unstoppable giant it is today. And it leaves you with a really fascinating question, right? In today's world of massive TV deals and corporate sponsorships, could a professional sports team ever fail this completely, this quickly, ever again?